Okay, your name is?
I'm Tom Dow. I'm the General Sales Manager at Mike Anderson Chevrolet in Maryville, Indiana.
Okay, how long have you been in the car business for?
15 years.
Okay, and what did you do in the car industry from beginning?
I was a salesman from 1995 to 2001. I worked for a company called Community Motors in Oak Forest, Illinois. I got promoted into management in '01, and I worked there until about '03, and then I moved around to a dealership called Darcy GMC in Joliet, and I've been with the Anderson family for the past 7 years.
Okay, now I, as you know, the CEO of Dealer Synergy, kind of came into this organization to train your people, and during that process yesterday, I was really kind of intrigued with meeting you. I mean, just the way that you carry yourself, you articulate yourself, and the way that you kind of share information. I think the packaging is awesome. And you shared a story with me that was very, very awesome. So I'd love for you to be able to kind of share that story to everybody that's watching AutomotiveInternetSales.com. So can just kind of share with me again what you shared yesterday.
Sure, be glad to. About 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I went to a Starbucks for the first time. I had never been to one, and I walked in with the intent to order tea. Being 47 years of age, at the time 44, I still had never had a cup of coffee in my life. I wasn't about to start, but I stood behind some lady, and I was just listening to the people ordering. This particular lady ordered some kind of a mocha grande frappuccino type of thing. I'd never heard the name of it before. I went up behind her, I ordered a tea, and when I was done, I walked behind her and I excused myself. I said, "Ma'am, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but can you explain to me one more time what you had ordered? What was that exactly?" And she told me what the name of it was, and I said, "Wow, where did you come up with a name like that?" And she said that it was something that she liked to have because they made it specifically for her. I thought, wow, that's interesting. How much was it? And she said $4.50. So I thought, wow. I go, how often do you visit here? And she goes, every day of the week. So I thought, wow, that's a lot of money to spend on that every day of the week. But the thing she liked was that she said that they catered it to her need specifically. So what I did was I went home and I decided to look up Starbucks and look them up online. And I had found that the average Starbucks customer was visiting 18 times a month, spending $3.50 a crack average. I then found out that they said that they had modeled these particular Starbucks after coffee houses from Italy in the 1940s. And I recognized that people were spending money for the experience. They were getting these unique smells and unique sounds, and some of them had fireplaces in there, and they could read and they could talk with people, go on their computers. And I realized they're spending a lot of money for the experience. So then I took it a little further, and I thought, well, when a person, we're out here in Chicago, I'm a Cub fan, a long-suffering Cub fan, but nonetheless, what I sat there and I looked at was, well, why would a person go to Wrigley Field, spend $50 or $100 for the ticket, $50 to park, who knows how much money for food or drinks or whatever, paraphernalia, when they can go home and watch it for free? And I thought, well, the reason they're doing this is because they are paying for the experience. They're paying for the colors and the sounds and the excitement level. And then I went a little further with it in my mind. And a couple years back, I went and saw the Rolling Stones, and I had free tickets for them. And I thought, why would anybody spend $350 face value to see these men up on stage in their 60s running around, jumping around, singing, when they can listen to buy the CD and they can listen to it over and over and over again for free? Why would they spend that kind of money? And I recognized that they were paying also for the experience. They wanted to say that they were able to see him in concert or listen to the sounds. So I'm piecing all this together from actually some lady who ordered at Starbucks. And then I went a little further and I thought, well, what do our customers think about us? So on a Sunday, on my day off, I got dressed just in sweatpants and a t-shirt, and I went around and I went to the McDonald's and Starbucks where they did not, I've never been. I went to the mall, gas stations, anywhere there were people. I talked to young people, older people, men and women, different races, and I walked up to them with a pad of paper and I said, excuse me, I'm doing a little survey for my company. I was just curious, can you tell me, have you ever bought a car at a dealer before? And they said that sure, of course. And I said, when you see a car salesman walking up to you for the very first time, what's the first word that goes through your mind? And they said, honestly? And I go, yeah, honest. And this is the list that I got. It's a very lengthy list, but I'd like to repeat some of the words if I may. They said that we were tenacious cutthroats. We were conniving, hard-headed scammers. We were shysters, wolves, abusers. We are predators. We are pushy, unreliable, and dishonest. We are untrustworthy, phony, desperate, insincere, persistent, deceptive, stereotypical, sleazy, smoozing, gabby liars. We are cynicists and actors. We are criticizers, and we're judgmental. We are awful, cheating thieves, and we are high-pressuring. We are traumatic, arrogant, rude. We are hypocritical. We are evasive and lazy. We are impatient. We are cigarette-smelling. We are annoying. We are bothersome. We have a poor reputation. We're fearful, slick, and tacky. We're manipulative. We are scheming, uninformed. We are not knowledgeable. We are unfair. We are a-holes. We are no effing good, excuse me. We are bloodsuckers, lowlifes. We are untruthful, greedy, cocky sleazeballs. We are sleazebags, sweet talkers, rip-off artists, slime balls, swindlers, and con artists. That's what they said. I talked to about 40 different people, and if you'd like to take a guess how many said something good about us, 0. Not one. Not one person said that we might be decent people, we might be friendly, we might be charitable or giving or kind. They all thought we were this. They had no idea what we were. So then I said, well, let me ask you this then. I'd like you to tell me, what would you like us to be? What would you like the car salesperson to be? And they gave me a shorter list, but they said they'd like us to be trustworthy and honest. We'd like us to be genuine and helpful and patient, not smothering. They'd like us to be humorous and warm, service-orientated and reliable, considerate and understanding, laid back, not overly aggressive, not pushy. They like us to be direction-orientated. One guy said, I want you to have an opinion. I went, that's interesting. What does that mean? He goes, well, I want you to have a backbone. Don't agree with me to make a sale. Tell me what you think. And they want us to be knowledgeable and well-rounded and nice and smiling and caring and cheerful and well-dressed and clean-cut, professional in appearance, concerned for our needs, open-minded and personal. So I told my staff, I said, wow, they gave us their playbook. I said, they gave us the original list. They said that was how they felt about you before they ever met you. They never said that was how they felt about you after they met you. So I said, do you realize if you walk up to a customer or a person and you're professional in appearance, you comb your hair, you look at them with a warm, sincere smile, a firm handshake, and you greet them with some compassion and sincerity, you're halfway home. Okay. Anyways, to move along a little quicker, I just wanted to finish off by saying this. What I said also was, they say that we're all these things. And let's look at what we call them. We call them bums and rats and mooches and strokes and mavens and Larry Doyles. Those are the words dealers use. So I said quickly, I said, rather than calling them bums and rats, why don't we recognize that maybe they fell on hard times? Maybe they've gone through a divorce or a job loss or were ill and their credit's been destroyed. Why don't we take a higher road and help them rebuild rather than cripple them some more, which is not what we do. And instead of calling them strokes and blaming them for wasting 3 hours of our time, why don't we blame ourselves for not knowing our products better and to direction it better? And blaming them for wasting your time. Actually, in my opinion, you've wasted their time. You should know yourself and know your job a lot better. And calling a customer a mooch because they won't give $30,000 of your hard-earned money to you because maybe perhaps you didn't build any value isn't fair, knowing that one wrong purchase could cripple their lives or their financial lives. And finally, we call them Larry Doyles. We laugh at them when we make a deal with sticker, but then we cry when we make no money. I told them I don't agree with any of those types of stereotypes. Why don't we just take the higher road and treat them with some respect? And instead of them coming in with their fists raised and we going at them like this, I suggest why don't we just take the higher road, turn the other cheek, and give them the very best of our effort. And then when we greet them with an open hand, we actually have the upper hand, in my opinion. And the goal is to earn a customer for life. That was just something that I saw. So I'd like to share that with you.
Now, tell them about the General Motors thing.
The General Motors thing?
How they invited you to kind
Oh, well, what happened was I shared that with his own rep, and then Dave Fitzwater, who worked for General Motors, invited me to be a surprise guest speaker at a Holiday Inn in Naperville, and I got up on stage and shared this testimony with a little more time and got a standing ovation. And the people actually were talking about that it was refreshing to see somebody come up with a different perspective on how to help customers better without being typical, I should say.
Okay, well, I want to just say thank you so much for sharing this. And since we can't give a standing ovation because you're on a video camera, I could like shake the camera. Yay! That was awesome. All right, I just want to share with everybody out there that's watching this, you should definitely save this video because Tom just dropped some serious knowledge. Okay, and thank you so much, sir, for sharing that again with the community.